I found out recently that analog TV is being switched off on the 31st of December 2024. Well, maybe, but we'll get into that. What this means is that anybody with those bunny ears TV aerial things, or even just those regular aerials on the side of the house that doesn't have a decoder box, those little like digital boxes like DSTV, but not DSTV. If you don't have that, on the 1st of January, when you switch on your TV, all you'll get is that static. You won't see anything, it won't work at all. I find this kind of fascinating because I only heard about it this year, and that's kind of crazy, especially since it's been such a long ongoing issue, but clearly it hasn't had much of a public spotlight. This transition process has revealed a litany of shortcomings on behalf of the government and the Department of Communications, who haven't stuck to deadlines or provided set-top boxes, which are the decoders, like the DSTV decoders, set-top boxes to poor households so that they can use the digital signal. The shift from analog to digital broadcasting was initially announced as a revolutionary leap forward in South Africa. Digital technology offers quite a few advantages, such as improved picture and sound quality, the ability to transmit multiple channels within the bandwidth of one single analog channel, so you could fit a whole bunch of digital channels in one single analog channel. And it also frees up valuable radio frequency spectrum for mobile, broadband, and other communications services, such as Telkom, Vodacom, MTN. So it frees up that radio frequency so that the mobile communication companies can use that frequency, which is amazing because by freeing up the frequency, it creates a better connection for people using their phones, creates faster internet and more access. And this is a good thing. With a commitment to aligning with international standards set out by the International Telecommunications Union, or ITU, South Africa was meant to be a leader in the digital age and migrate a long time ago. However, the reality has been far less promising. This has really been such a prolonged process, over a decade of delays since the initial commitment to migrate in 2006. I was only 7 in 2006, so a very long time ago. South Africa has seen a staggering series of delays and missed deadlines. Originally, the aim was to complete the transition to migrate by June 2015. The government has then since pushed back that deadline multiple times, culminating in this latest deadline on the 31st of December 2024. And obviously we're yet to see if that actually happens and if that will be the final switch off of analog signals. This digital migration project has spanned the tenures of 13 different communications ministers, each inheriting a complex web of legal challenges, battles, technical challenges, and political pressures from various leaders in government. The myriad of issues plaguing the digital migration can largely be attributed to bureaucratic inefficiencies and legal entanglements. There has also been numerous court cases with broadcasters such as ETV and SABC who fear that they will lose viewers by switching to digital. They also fear that they will lose revenue from this switch to digital. These legal battles have not only delayed the process, but they've also highlighted a lack of cohesive strategy and foresight within government ranks. Furthermore, the government's proposed or chosen solution at the moment, which is a dual broadcasting system allowing both analog and digital signals to coexist. So instead of switching, at the moment, they're running a dual illumination period where they use both digital and analog, which is using up a whole lot of those broadcast frequencies, which could have been given over to telecoms companies to use. This dual illumination period has resulted in increased operational costs and confusion among consumers because now they have both, so they're not quite sure what's going on. Many of whom remain unaware of the impending switch off. I mean, I was unaware, as I'm sure a lot of you might have been unaware of this switch off and the need to get these set-top boxes or STBs, which you would need in order to access the digital signal. Without these set-top boxes, you will have nothing. There won't be any signal. You will just have static feed on your TV. Largely, I honestly just think a lot of people don't know how this whole thing works and what will happen when the analog TV signal switches off, and what that will mean for consumers of South African free-to-air television. While the government has promised subsidized set-top boxes for over 5 million low-income households, the rollout has been fraught with many challenges, as you can imagine. Many eligible houses remain in the dark about the whole application process, and awareness campaigns have largely fallen flat. Households were asked to register to collect these set-top boxes, but the problem is these set-top boxes were to be collected from South African post offices, and that's kind of laughable because the South African Post Office company is in complete disarray. They've shut down a whole bunch of branches, and they are actually almost in the process of being liquidated in the next few months. So you can imagine trying to get these set-top boxes from the post office would have been a complete nightmare, and obviously filled with corruption and lots of difficulty. The reality is that numerous impoverished communities may still find themselves without access to digital broadcasting when the switch-off occurs, exacerbating existing inequalities in media access for South African citizens. Moreover, those who do not qualify for these subsidized set-top boxes will face the prospect of purchasing these STBs or set-top boxes at their own expense, out of pocket, at retailers. But the problem with that is these set-top boxes are actually not easily available at retailers such as Checkers, ShopRite, Pick n Pay, and you can't actually find them. So that's also a bit awkward. This situation then raises questions about the government's commitment to inclusivity in its digital migration efforts. The failure then to complete the migration process in a timely manner also has broader economic implications. By delaying the release of this RF spectrum of analog frequencies, valuable RF spectrum that is being used by these analog signals, the government is impeding mobile operators' ability to improve network coverage and provide faster data services to South Africans. The ongoing telecom crisis in South Africa, marked by high data costs and limited access in rural areas, could have actually been alleviated had the government taken decisive action in this whole digital migration strategy and process. I actually attended a talk on this digital migration by Dr. Fatuani Mutuvi, who is the Chief Director of Broadcasting Digital Migration Program within the government's Department of Communications. And at that talk, I was shocked to hear how backwards the system has been, how slow the migration has taken, and I also was surprised as to think, why are people not looking at alternative strategies and solutions? I mean, the plan is to free up transmission, the RF frequency transmission, so that cell signal is better for South Africans. People have easier access to cell signal. So then I'm thinking, why are we not promoting the access of free-to-air TV online with platforms such as SABC Plus? Isn't this maybe where we should be looking to make access easier, cheaper, data prices cheaper, or even potentially zero rating these platforms? I'm a bit passionate about this because I really feel like the future of free-to-air television should be looking online. So that's just my perspective. As South Africa approaches yet another deadline, another new deadline for the analog switch-off, it is time for the government to confront its shortcomings head-on. They need to provide solutions for people from poor households to have access to free-to-air television because it's important as a human right. But it also needs to do that quickly because the added cell signal that this bandwidth will provide will help South Africans across the country. This digital migration is then not just a technical issue, it represents a critical juncture in the nation's ability to bridge the digital divide and promote equitable access to information. I always remain optimistic, and I really hope that this new GNU, Government of National Unity, can rally together and get this migration project finalized and completed finally for the benefit of all South African citizens. I know that was a fast-paced, heavy video, but I wanted to say thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe. I really appreciate that, it helps. And I also wanted to say thank you for 500 subscribers. That is really amazing to me, and it has taken me a lot of videos to get to this point, and I'm super grateful to each and every one of you for subscribing. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.